Great nation, I would like to cordially greet you all. And I once again would like to congratulate everyone for the past Ramadan Eid we enjoyed all together. And I wish that we will have more Eids to come in the future, hopefully with God's will.
Şu an var mı
Due
sıkıntı?
to uh,
Çeviriyor.
Due to the coronavirus, maybe we could not leave our homes, but despite that fact, we always preserve the love and hope in our hearts and even further strengthened them both. For about 3 months, we have been experiencing this predicament, and it shows that we have to be reconciling with ourselves in terms of what we have in life and what we value and care about. We will have a brighter future and have a brighter perspective in the future, and hopefully we will be contemplating, and we have done so, I believe, during that time. When we compare our country as to the countries in the world, I can personally say that we are thankful for what we have at hand. Of course, due to the measures taken, there are some who have been negatively impacted and have lost some income, probably. In particular, we have tried to mobilize all the means of the state for our citizens and bring them help and shown them that we stand with them during challenging times. Across the country, we have allocated 1,000 liras per month for more than 5.5 million citizens. And we have also provided short-time labor credits or cash support, financial aid for many citizens of this country. We also provided low-cost credit lines and supported many medium or small size enterprises and ensured that they survived this hardship. We will, in the forthcoming periods, of course, stand with our people, our artisans, and all the enterprises. Turkey has been serving as a role model across the world in its efforts to contain the virus, and it is a success of all the people of this country, all 83 million. And using this opportunity, would like to once again thank to the healthcare professionals. We have indeed put the measures in practice in all the districts, villages, and cities of the country, and the relevant authorities took care and supervised all these measures. Many citizens over the age of 65 and citizens under the age of 20 have received help from VEFA social support groups. So far, the social support group answered more than 6.2 million demands coming from citizens. Of course, all the public officers did conduct many activities, all of which we can, of course, not break down here. Our citizens know that no sacrifice will be to will be in vain, and we have indeed maybe lost some in the past 2.5 months, lost some of our belongings, but we will reclaim back all of them back in the forthcoming periods. And we will further strengthen our unison, our brotherhood, our togetherness. And as long as we do so, God will open new gates, a higher number of gates for us. And the global structure system, which is being reshaped, and now Turkey will be claiming a much better position, and we have started even receiving the signals of that in industry, in energy, agriculture, transportation, health, education, sports, defense industry, and in every field of life, Turkey will be coming to the foreground as a rising star. In the post Cold War and Second World War periods, certain mistakes were done, and now we will not be making the same mistakes again and ensure further progress for our country. In the past 18 years, we have progressed a lot and indeed paved a lot of way, and this gives us a lot of courage for the future. And during that period, our nation did upset all the plans, plots set against us and responded accordingly. From tutelage to attempts of coup, from terrorist attacks to hitmanship in the field of economy, many tried many methods, but they could not prevent our great and glorious journey. And God says, you might find good in the evil and evil in good. And therefore, we will be fully grasping the meaning of that during that period. A century ago, the Turkish nation, by some, was attempted to be erased from the history by treating them as the old men of the world. And now we have resurged and even stand stronger, and we fully trust in ourselves, we fully trust in our people, in our future, and we believe that bright future is ahead of us. Tomorrow we will be marking the 567th anniversary of the conquest of Istanbul, and we will be organizing a lot of activities tomorrow. First, in Sancaktepe district, we will be inaugurating Professor Feriha Öz Emergency Case Hospital, and during the evening hours, we will be paying a visit to the Foundation of Archers to observe the events organized within the framework of the 8th Cup of Conquest. And in Hagia Sophia, we will be praying and also reciting the anthems of conquest. And we, through this, of course, functions, will enjoy our past. These lands, of course, were transferred over us, and all the martyrs or the gallant soldiers, the heroes who left these holy lands to us, are to be commemorated, and I commemorate and remember them with gratitude. My distinguished people, Turkey has gone through many milestones in history, many turning points. Some of them are remembered with joy, some with, of course, grief. May 27 military coup and its aftermath, of course, is what we remember with grief. Yesterday we inaugurated the island and opened it up for service and visiting again. It used to be called Yasada, and now we have remade it, and now the name of the island is the Island of Democracy and Liberties. This is the symbol of freedoms, if you will. May 27 is the date. May 27, 1960 was the date when the virus of military coups and tutelage was introduced into our country. And after that date, we unfortunately had to endure many attempts or many military coups materialized. And the most recent one was the failed coup attempt of July 15th, 2016. And of course, we had to bear many heavy consequences accordingly. And many other attacks took place right after Turkey started leaping forward in many fields, including economy. Once we have a look at the past 60 years, we can see that this has been a reality that cannot be fully repaired in terms of democracy. During the early days of the Republic, when the veteran Mustafa Kemal started losing his health and then his life, of course, during the CHP single party period, many advantages claimed that had been claimed until that date, of course, were lost. And then Menderes and his colleagues and Democrat Party started a new activity. They introduced a lot of infrastructure projects, hydroelectric power plants, many ports were constructed, airports, 5 new airports, and 3 new refineries were constructed by the DP government, Democrat Party government. Many cement factories, grains factories, and silos, and 88 large-scale factories, facilities were established, and the national income of our country did grow by 3 folds. And it was on a path to claim the position it deserved back in 1960s. And following the May 26 May, this process came to be halted, and a long period of instability took start. Menderes and his colleagues served a lot for this country, and they had to endure heavy tortures, slandering, and also had to pay that price of good work by being sent to the gallows. Yassı Ada trials were indeed of tribunals that were of fake structures, and months long of trials unfairly took place, and Minister of Finance Asat Polatkan and Minister of Economy, as well as the late Adnan Menderes, the Prime Minister of the time, were executed. And Menderes, Zorlu, and Polatkan, all these 3 figures, of course, left a big wound in the hearts of our people. The late Turgut Özal removed their mausoleum back to Istanbul, and indeed gave them at least the location they deserved after all. And therefore, we wanted to indeed turn Yassı Ada into the symbol of democracy and liberties, and with the help and contributions by the TOBB, Turkish Chamber of Stock Exchanges, and with the support of the leader of a Nationalist Movement Party, Mr. Bahçeli, we yesterday officially conducted the inauguration activities. With all the facilities established on the island, the complex, the libraries, or many other facilities, museums will make the legacy of the late Adnan Menderes and his colleagues live on. Of course, this island will be hosting many national and international meetings, conferences as well. And I am thankful to God for having bestowed us with such a chance of making a transformation. And I commemorate Adnan Menderes and his friends once again with gratitude. And I would like to underline that our country hopefully will not be going through the same period of grief yet again. The courage our nation has exhibited, the behaviors we have portrayed, show that the time and the era of tutelage and military coups has come to an end. But there are still those who have some hopes about military coups and certain incidents on the streets. And our nation will not allow them. Some fascists do put my picture alongside Adnan Menderes, and now their behaviors show that we have to always hold on to our vigilance. And there are still some people who try to send the people who served the nation to the gallows, and they will now not have that power to do the same again. And we are also commemorating, marking the Marsikan victory, and as well we will be marking the conquest of Istanbul, and we will be preserving the spirit and enthusiasm, excitement that comes with them. And 2023 will be a new opportunity for us to glorify our nation yet again, and we will continue to work day and night and never stop. Therefore, we will always make sure our economy and democracy moves forward, and we will continue walking on this path until our last breath. My great nation, some of the tests we survive in our country might be related with our internal dynamics, while, on the other hand, some are related with the reflections of developments unfolding in the international arena. The global the coronavirus is one of those. But thank God, with the support lent to us by our nation, we have curbed this virus and the spread of this virus, and we are one of the countries who could contain the virus in the most successful way. We did not only provide aid to our own people, but we provided aid to 127 countries, and we also indeed brought thousands of our citizens from Mauritania to Bolivia or all across the world back home, back to their countries, and we always stood with our citizens. Besides, we always responded to the countries who demanded some aid from us. We responded to 100 out of 135 who demanded help from us, and 246 official authorities abroad ensured a very strong coordination with one another and our country. And in our country, we of course brought certain lockdowns for the group citizens over the age of 65 and 20 and under. And I would like to thank to them for their great efforts personally on behalf of my family, my own family, and my nation. Thanks to the precautions we have taken, the number of the patients intubated is following an ever declining trend, and we have been containing the outbreak. We have been providing and having the full supply of the medication and the devices necessary for the treatment of the disease, and we have paved a lot of way in this regard. With the support of national defense pharmaceutical facilities, we have started producing our own medication. The ventilators also now, thanks to the private sector and also the Institute of Machinery and Chemicals, we have so far produced 3,026 ventilators, and we have so far exported some thousand of them. We also have been producing face masks and also started producing thermal cameras. And all of these show us that the new normal is on its way, and we have accordingly taken steps forward. For about a month, we have been following our calendar, our plan for normalization, and we keep a close track on every development unfolding and gradually share some new plans. As of this week, we have taken some new decisions, and these are as follows. The intercity travel ban will be completely lifted as of June the 1st. We will be following the developments. In case we observe a negative incident, we might bring this ban back in effect. Those who are the civil servants who are on leave will be returning to their tasks as of June the 1st again. The kindergartens and the care homes will again reopen as of June the 1st. The Ministry of Health identified the public servants who have been diagnosed positive, and they will be followed and traced. and the lockdowns, the weekend lockdowns, will be uh, on Sunday and will be maintained, and the citizens over the age of 65 will be again needing to stay at home. And the citizens over the age of 65 will have to be abiding by the rules of wearing a mask, social distancing, and personal hygiene, and they will be allowed to leave home on Sunday during certain hours. These three things are very important: facial masks, social distancing, and personal hygiene. For the age group of 20 and under, now we have changed it into 18 and under, and the age group of 18 and under will be on Wednesday and February in between the hours of 2 to 8 p.m. Be allowed to leave home. So now we have a new system, and the next Monday, in other words, as of June 1st, restaurants, cafes, patisseries, cafeterias, uh, swimming pools, and some enterprises such similar enterprises will be able to reopen. Hookah sales and entertainment places are not within the scope of this initiative. The facilities of tourism will not be subject to our restrictions. And as of June the 1st, certain stopover places will also be able to operate. National gardens, picnic areas, or parks in the cities will also be open as of June the 1st. Museums and archaeological sites will reopen again on June the 1st. This will be the same for the hippodromes and the sports facilities complexes will be serving until midnight. Fisheries, sea transportation, and sea or cruise tourism will be abiding by certain specific rules, and they will reopen and be operational again. Libraries, national libraries, cafes, youth camps, youth centers, as of June the 1st, will become operational in line with certain sets of rules. So the institutions they're supervised by will determine how they will function. Open-air concerts will be able to be possibly organized with the condition of them to end by the midnight. And all the respective authorities will share the details of these decisions, of course, with each and every one. Hopefully the decisions we have made will be auspicious for us all. And I would like to reiterate all these three principles yet again. Masks, social distancing, and hygiene cleaning. We should not be ignoring all these three issues. Any of these three issues. We should definitely wear a face mask and be careful about social distancing, keep socially distant from one another, and be, of course, very careful about our personal hygiene and cleaning. These are the three musts we must have. Now, using this opportunity again, I would like to thank you very much and extend my love and respect. Thank you.